Good morning. This is K1BSZ, flight up here in the north woods of Vermont. One of my radio buddies called me on 2 meters here just for Christmas, and he said he normally doesn't have to worry about intruders in his house or anything because he lives in an area where everybody knows everybody, and it's just really small town. And he leaves he leaves his house unlocked. His car's doors are unlocked. I mean, and and some people go into his house and he has coffee in there, all ready to drink, and some people and he'll have things cooking on the stove, and the mailman comes by and checks on it, and town constable comes in, gets a cup of coffee, free cup of coffee, leaves him some money. I mean, stuff like that, just, good old down home friendliness. But he was telling me about this one time he came into his, it was about 2 weeks ago, he came into his house, and, everything looked fine, and until he goes into his radio room. And he noticed that there was one of the radios had been left on. The power supply was on, and the radio was on, and people have been hearing somebody chunking the local repeater quite a bit, and hearing some noises, and just kind of weird stuff. And like some kids talking or something, and they thought maybe it was somebody that someone's got a handheld somewhere, and some kid got a hold of it and thought it was a toy cell phone or something. And I mean, that's happened before. So and he looked around, and it was like things were kind of out of place a little bit. And one of his neighbors is a kid that's he's interested in ham radio, but he wasn't around. He hasn't been around for a couple of weeks because they're on school break, and he's not in the area with his parents. They're off somewhere else. But things were just out of place. So he put everything back to where it normally is. And then within another couple of days, came back into his house, and it snowed, and there was some fresh tracks going into the house where his radio room is and coming back out. Well, who the hell is going in my radio room? He thought it was one of the local hams there that played a trick on him or something. I come find out it wasn't. It was someone going in there and purposely trying to cause trouble for him or something like that. So immediately started locking up his house, and some people that would just normally go in there and get coffee and his wife's homemade donuts, and stuff like that. Yeah, because they always had the thing out there. Our doors are open. Come on in anytime. Have yourself a cup of coffee. Or the stew's on the stove. Help yourself some beef stew. Whatever. That's the way they were. So we started locking up his house, and the people were upset about that. And he told them why he had to do that, and started locking up his car doors. And so and nothing happened since. So that brings up a good point. Even though you live out in the country, and most of Vermont is rural And people are really, people are really friendly up here. Much more so than you're going to find anywhere else. I mean, neighbors help out neighbors, and you move into a town, and the neighbors are right there to welcome you. They get pies, cookies, cakes, invite you over for dinner, and have a barbecue. And then that's the way we are. That's the way we are in Vermont. It's not because there's nobody around. It's just that's the way we are. But there's a certain line to draw back to that, that friendliness. It also invites a lot of crime. So even though we're in Vermont, you gotta lock up your houses, your doors, your windows, everything. Because like a lot of insurance companies will say, they want you to do stuff like this because they don't want to pay out a lot of claims and stuff for damages and stuff, that sort of stuff. So just lock everything up the way it should be. So, anyways, hope you all had a good Christmas. I did. Pretty quiet. In fact, New Year's is going to be quiet too. I mean, I'm going to be all alone. Going to be on my radio for a little bit, watch some movies, have something to eat, and so, anyways, that's my thought for the day. So that's the thing you should do. Lock up your houses, and in the summertime, make sure everything's grounded, disconnected before you leave the house. I always do. I mean, from about May 1st up until about October, I disconnect everything and ground everything, make sure everything's unplugged faithfully, because thunderstorms pop up, and you don't want that kind of problem. So you know, and it's also good. Oh, excuse me, I was up late last night. Um, it's also good practice to get into anyway. So everybody let's hope we have a great new year of 2021. Let's hope that the vaccine gets out there and cures this thing. We get back to somewhat normal. All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.